How's it going, man? Just kind of looking over this receipt right here. Waiting for some more folks to get in here. You are the first one, by the way. In case you're wondering. Yeah. I've been on here like 3 minutes. What's up, y'all? I don't know if y'all are ready or not, but I'm ready to go fishing. Tomorrow is the day, for sure. I got some baits laid out here. I think I'm probably going to be... it'll probably work. But spent like $75 at Bass Pro Shop today. Just I didn't have anything to do, so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go up there and get some stuff. But anyway, tomorrow is going to be it's going to be a tough day, but we're going to hopefully it's going to be my baby tomorrow. Dark Sleepers. These are some fish catchers. I'm not the biggest fan of Mega Bass stuff, but how's it going, Health Bubsy and Morgan? How's it going? Anyway, these are probably going to be my babies tomorrow. They, like I said, they're fish catchers. Just because the bite's going to be tough, it's going to be real tough. And then the second one is a blade bait. You can't really go wrong this time of year with blade bait. These are just probably for the money one of the best blade baits you can get. Besides the cheap ones on Amazon. Okay, I don't know. Heath? Sorry. My bad. My bad. My bad, dude. Hey, I don't know why. It looked like health to me. I'm sorry, man. I have no idea why. I guess I imagined an L in there somewhere. I guess, and then gonna get some DT20s. These I don't suspect that they'll probably do any good, but I'm gonna have them on deck just to be safe. But I do suspect those dark sleepers to definitely. Do I have any subscribers here? I lost 15. I lost 15 subscribers like on a video that I posted. I don't know what Wednesday. No, I am not a Marine. Okay, awesome, dude. Appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure you're aware of the giveaway that we're doing, just like we did last year. We get 3,000 subscribers by Halloween, and I'm giving away a bunch of stuff, like a big ass tackle box, like probably 3,700, full of stuff. Yes, I am going fishing tomorrow. I know it's going to be cold, but I don't even care. I fish 365 days a year. Weather does not. I don't give a shit about weather. Fish got to eat, It's just like us, We got to eat. I mean, even if you're out there, you know. It's funny. Somebody asked if I was a Marine. The I was on TikTok about a month or two ago, and they were like, "You look like Chris Kyle." And I'm like, "I do not look like Chris Kyle." I was like, "Are you serious?" But anyway, I thought that was funny. I guess it's because I got that red in my beard. I guess I don't know. I'm guessing it's all gray now, but I mean, I can do that. I mean, I'm not bald, you know. But this is what my my getup looks like. Dude, I don't even give a fuck, man. I like wearing glasses and a hat, so I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of me. Kind of like the going back on the losing the 15 subscribers after that one video, because I can't figure out what was so triggering about that video. I basically just said I couldn't fish the kayak, Bass in USA kayak series this year because I want to get a motor for my kayak, and I can't do that and fish those events at the same time because it's gonna be like $1,500 for the fucking motor and the bracket mount and stuff. So I'm just not gonna be able to do both. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. If somebody thinks that I care, then they're wrong. They are wrong. I'll do what I want. I'll look how I want. I'll dress how I want. But anyway, yeah. Because I mean, I don't know. I was on TikTok live. Not well. No, I take that back. It wasn't live. It was a video that I posted on TikTok that somebody was like, "If you're such a local hammer, how come where's all your trophies?" And I was like, "Dude, I get 4 hours to fish on Sunday, and that's it. That's all I get. That's it. So all the stuff you see happened in 4 hours. That's all I got. So uh, if I did get into a tournament, I could go, but kids at school call me fat. Well, that sucks, dude. I mean, you don't have to care what they say. You know what I mean? That's the best, dude. I'll be honest with you, man. Not, and I heard this from somebody else, and it made a lot of sense. Not giving a fuck is an art form. Like you do not have to care what people say or think or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's definitely an art form for sure. It just ruins your own happiness. Is really all it does. If you give a shit what people say. What? Add a QA sticker, best way to eat an Oreo? I am not putting that on there. It's just something that that Facebook, or not Facebook, YouTube sent me, said, try this. Like, I don't, you dip the damn thing in the milk and you put it in your mouth. That's about the way you eat Oreo. I mean, I guess you could break it apart and eat the cream first. But hey, but after this is over, I don't know how long I'm gonna go live. I've only got one person on here now, but uh, I'll probably go on TikTok after this is over and probably do the same thing. So if you don't follow me, I'm on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. So yeah. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I know I said that I was getting that I was getting this rod when they came out at iCast. It's a pretty sweet looking rod. I ain't gonna lie about it. And I bought the newer model BB1 Pro for it. I couldn't help myself. I kind of had to do it. But anyway, them BB1s are awesome. I own two of the older models, and they're really sweet reels. I like them a lot. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that, dude. So where are y'all from? Just out of curiosity. Y'all from nowhere? I'm from the Bronx, bruh. Not really. You're from the country? Well, I mean, I kind of am too, sort of. Well, I mean, I'm from Kentucky, so it's kind of that's where I'm from. So I live like 15 minutes down from the street from Taylorsville Lake, so that's where I fish at. I mean, out here in Spencer County, it's it because I'm from like the Louisville, Kentucky area. That's where I grew up at. And when my wife and I got married, we moved out here. So like it's way different out here than it is in Louisville, obviously. It's not exactly like rural, but it's a country feel to it. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Who sings that song? I'm from the country and I like it that way, or whatever it is. Oh, awesome, dude. What river are we talking about here? Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Uh, the like I said, if they don't catch this one, they can go on TikTok. I'm sure they got TikTok. I mean, most younger folks have TikTok. It's the older ones that really don't. I mean, I'm 43 years old, and I think I've been on TikTok for I don't know a couple years. I think it is more of a younger generation thing than a you know. I have zero doubt. You know, um, the crazy part about TikTok is, man, some of them folks on there are wild, dude. Like the questions that you get is like just so funny to me. And like, really, man, I don't know. You just have to. It's kind of one of them deals. But you said you don't live too far from a river. What river are we talking about? The Tennessee River? The Amazon River? I got a bunch of I got some subscribers that live in what the hell's the name of that country? But anyway, the you don't know what river you live next to? Okay. Yeah. The- I can't remember what country they live in, but anyway, they're not eligible for the giveaway, which is unfortunate because it would cost me literally probably $200 or probably more to ship it to them. And I'm just not doing that. So if you don't live inside the continental US, you're not eligible for the if we hit 3,000 subscribers by Halloween. The well, he's not in here right now, but the dude that won last year, I gave him the bait that I was giving away, which is a 9-inch draw, a 6-inch draw, because we hit 1,000, and then I was going to give away 2,000. I was going to give away the reel that I caught this fish on. We got to 2,000, and then a bunch of people backed out. And like 2 weeks before the giveaway was supposed to happen, and he only won the bait. So, yeah, and stuff and things. So, what do you fish for generally? You all? I don't know. There's only how many people in here? One. Y'all fish for bass. Are you going to do a live on tomorrow's fishing or video? I'm going to do a video. It's not going to be. Man, I can't do a live. I'd like to do live, but my phone overheats if I have it on too long, and so I don't even. I just record it on my GoPro and then take it home and make whatever I can make out of it. Sometimes I don't catch anything, but I'll tell you what though, I'm on my kayak tomorrow. I have not gotten skunked on my kayak yet, and I've had it since June. So the probability of us catching something tomorrow is pretty good. Now, prior to July, or no, June, I'm sorry, June, I was fishing from the bank, exclusively, and I'd get skunked all the time. Like I was trying to make videos and I can't because I didn't fucking catch anything. I'm like, this sucks, man. I gotta get a vessel of some kind. So I bought what I could afford, which is a bona fide SS 107 kayak is what I got. Damn, you haven't been fishing in 2 years? Holy shit, man. I'd lose my fucking mind if I didn't go in like for a week or 2 weeks. Damn, I couldn't imagine that. Sounds terrible. Catfish, bass, and honestly, that's it. Hey, dude, even if you were fishing for panfish, it would make a difference as long as you went. You know what I mean? Just getting outdoors and just having a good time. I mean, some of us take it. You can take it as serious, or not as serious if you want to. Like everybody says, fishing is expensive. It is if you make it expensive, but if you don't want to make it expensive, it doesn't have to be. If you went bass fishing, like if you got a medium heavy rod, 100, you spent like $100 on a rod, $100 on a reel, you'd have a solid setup. Get you a jig, some crankbaits, and some Senkos, and probably a spinnerbait and some crankbaits, and you'd be set. You wouldn't even have to you know, the jig and stuff like that. They'd be all green pumpkin. You wouldn't even have to worry about color. You could just fish green pumpkin. You wouldn't have to worry about it. You could probably spend $300 and be set for a while. Like you wouldn't even have to. You probably wouldn't have to spend. You would probably have to buy more Senkos, and if you lost your crankbaits and stuff. But like as far as rod and reel goes, you wouldn't have to. That $100 mark, you get pretty good quality equipment as far as rod and reels go. I mean, you don't even have to spend $100 on the rod. Who made those drawings behind me? My daughter did. That one is like a family photo. Apparently, that's me. That's my wife, and then our dog is in there somewhere. For real, what? I mean, like for real on the photos, or for real on the the setup I'm talking about? Let me go back to that. You don't have to spend $100 on the rod. I mean, Bass Pro Shop has got like phenomenal rods for less than $100. The crank and stick being one, the pro qualifier being another one. Uh, this ugly stick is $85, and you get a 10-year warranty on it. I was talking about who made the pictures. I was talking about the rod. Okay. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, dude. You can make it as expensive or as least expensive as you want. Hey, if you say you live in Kentucky, you live way far away from me. Okay, that's cool. Nugget, what's up, dude? Are you a Wendy's nugget or a McDonald's nugget? I'm fucking with you, man. I'm fucking with you. Yeah, but back to the equipment and the baits and stuff. I mean, fishing's hard, but it's not hard at the same time. You know what I mean? Like in your mind, it's hard, but it's really not that difficult. Yeah. And it also depends on like where you live and what you're fishing too. Like if you're fishing at a pond and there's no bass in it or no fish in it, it's obviously it's hard to catch fish. But it's kind of finding fish is probably the hardest part of fishing is finding them. So once you find them, then your brain's like, what do I need to use to catch them? So that's how that goes. Why did the cow cross the road? Well, I'm assuming the grass was tastier on the other side, I'm guessing. But no, why did the cow cross the road? Well, we're waiting. Man, y'all, a pond next to my house, and there's snapping turtles to go to the movies. Okay. But dude, if there's snapping turtles in there, you can catch them bastards too. But I will tell you though, the longer, and I've just noticed this over time, the longer that there's snapping turtles in a pond, over time, there's not going to be any fish in there. They're going to slowly just go away because they end up getting caught by the turtles. And then once the fish are gone, then the turtles move, and then there's no fish in there. That's how that goes. To go to the movies, I don't get it. I guess. Dude, I'm having some issues with this nostril. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it like runs. I'm gonna go grab a Kleenex. I'll be right back, and y'all stay put. It won't be but a second. Damn, I'm sorry, y'all. It was like it just starts running, and all of a sudden I can feel it. It's about to like fall in my damn lap. I hold this bait underneath of it and just hold it right there so it just drips on the bait. Got the. I wonder how snot would work on a scent for bait. Hmm. I'm done with it. What's my favorite lure? Well, that's a good question. But I will tell you that it depends on a lot of variables. I'm down to catch fish with any bait. That is my favorite bait. But if you were going to give me one bait that I truly enjoy catching fish on and throwing because I'm good at it, is probably a jig. Yeah, straight braid, heavy hook, um, straight hang hook, creature bait, peg weight, flipping in the nastiest. You flip it in that nasty stuff, and all of a sudden you jig a couple times, and all of a sudden that line goes, doop, and then you're like, oh yeah, and you swing up on them. That's a spillway? Oh, dude, simple. Blade bait, man. Anything that lives in there will eat this, and everything that lives in there that won't eat this can get snagged by it. The buffalo, the carp, paddlefish, excuse me, any of those herbivores in there. I mean, you're not trying to snag them. You're trying to catch fish that eat these baits. You just happen to snag fish sometimes on those things. But yeah, that's hands down. Oh, what's up, dude? Like a Fortnite. I didn't even notice that was you, dog. It's been a while, dude. What's up, man? Yeah, well, I will tell you though, these are um, what you can do, man. I don't remember what video it is, but I got one of those videos that has those cheap ones on Amazon, and the link is in the description along with the snaps that you need because you need number two snaps for the ones on Amazon. If you get the ones on Amazon, there you get like 6 blade baits for $12, which it makes them $2 a piece. And if you go down to the tailwater, you're gonna lose some. That's just the way it is. You're gonna lose some. So I would rather spend $2 on a blade bait if you know you're gonna lose some versus spending what are these? These mean eyes are $6.99. I'd rather lose a $2 blade bait than a $7 blade bait. But those snaps, you can get them. I think come in like a pack of 100. So it's well worth the money for sure. And plus those fish catch or those baits catch. I've caught the biggest PB or the biggest hybrid I've ever caught on one of those baits. I've caught the biggest saga I've ever caught on one of those baits. I've got some big fish on those baits, big bass. I'm trying to think. I've caught catfish on them. I've caught crappie on them. I snagged a massive buffalo on one of them. Speaking of, y'all remember this past video not that long ago where I was at the tailwater and I caught that big ass bass? That was on one of those cheap ass blade baits from Amazon. And the craziest part is when you watch that video, I'm bending the hook back. I was in a snag and I had to pull it out and it bent the hook. Well, I just bent the hook back and casted it back out there the next time and caught that bass. So it's so they're legit. I mean, the hooks aren't the greatest, but they're not the greatest for the right reasons. Because if you get in a snag and you can use a big enough line, you can just pull them out and the hook will straighten. You can still get your bait back and you can just bend it back like that, you know. Yeah, 1,000%, man. I'd rather lose $2 bait than because you've got 5 more if you lose one. You know what I mean? Because they come in like a little clear box, like a little clear plastic that's about that tall. It's like that big. There's 5 of them in there. They come in like little plastic, like cellophane looking bags or whatever you want to call it. But they don't come with snaps. So if you buy those, you have to have the snaps. Absolutely have to have the snaps because they won't run right. You can't just tie directly to that hole. You have to have the snap. Like these come with snaps, but they're not the greatest snaps ever. I don't know if y'all can see that. A little snap right there. It snaps in one of those holes. Hey, speaking of, didn't me suck at Fortnite? Did you reel in a fish of mine, or did what happened? Or I remember that happening down there, but I don't remember. Did you reel in a fish? The other reel in one? I can't remember. Yeah, I remember that part. I'm talking about like did I let you reel in a fish or something? Okay. Is man, that was a long ass time ago too. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Heath, if you're wanting to use these blade baits this at the tailwater or any place, that is not what you're going to be doing with these baits right here. If you're going down to the tailwater that I'm talking about, Taylorsville Lake tailwater, um, you will need to burn these. You don't want them sitting still. You don't want them hitting the bottom. It's a, like if the place you're fishing is snaggy, you don't want these hitting the bottom. You want to burn these things as fast as you can because what's happening is you're burning it and it's ticking those rocks down there. Is what it's doing. And when you get done, the nose of this thing, it's going to look all beat up. You'll I've got a picture of it, and I've actually got a video, and I'm not singing, by the way. I got a video on how exactly I use these at the tailwater. I go through rods, reels, line, the gear that I use, what I'm doing with them, stuff like that. It's the little pink blade bait. It's one of those cheap ones from Amazon, and I'm holding it up like this. So if you see that video, that one is the one you want to watch if you want to get the rundown on the blade baits. Actually, I mean, it doesn't even really make a difference where you fish them at. Burning them works. I do it all winter when I go up there. I burn them. I reel them just about as fast as I can reel them. Well, this one right here is a 1 ounce one. The only reason I like the 1 ounce ones is because I can cast them a mile and a half, and I can burn them faster. I can reel them faster because they're wanting to sink, and I want them to keep them up, so I have to reel it faster. You can use half, 3/4. It just depends. It really just depends on what kind of equipment you got because you got to have you can't just throw a 1 ounce on like a medium heavy rod or a medium rod and throw it out there because it's going to be way too heavy. You'll need at least a medium heavy, if not a heavy. But yeah, that's the rundown. But if you're going to start somewhere, start with a 1/2 ounce. It's not gonna you'll be just fine. I use these for specific reasons. It's not because I have to use these because they get the only ones that get bit. Like I said, I use them because I can throw them a mile and a half and I can cover more water with a 1 ounce one because I can throw it further. Because where I'm at, you're standing on a platform on a concrete little sidewalk, and you have to. I'll throw it on the other side, and I could probably throw it on the bank if I wanted to. If I wanted to throw it really, really hard. But I mean, obviously I don't. Yeah, you can go watch my videos. I mean, I don't. But I'm just talking about the one me holding that pink blade bait is the one you want to watch if you want to know the rundown about blade baits. Yeah, man. Me suck at Fortnite. If you don't, you got to keep those bad boys going, man. You cannot let. You got to that thing has to be going this way. If it's going that way, you're just asking to get snagged. And on top of that, the line down there is the worst thing in the world to get hung up on. Um, like other people's line that's got snagged in there. Eventually you'll get to the point where you can, once you snag, like once you lean into it, if you know, if you feel like you got a fish and it's a snag, when you lean into it, you'll eventually figure out like, yeah, that's definitely line. Because what happens is when you hit that line, the hooks grab it, and when you pull into it, you can feel it kind of give. But if it's a rock, when you pull into it, it doesn't have any of that give. You know what I mean? But if it's a rock, that's easy. You want to keep your line tight. You also want to do this with line too, if you get snagged in line. But if it's on a rock, you want to keep your line tight with it and reel over by it, and then grab your line right here, and shake your rod and feed the line in like that, and it'll come out. I even go into that too on that one video with the me holding the pink blade bait right here. It goes into how to get out of snags and everything. I even go into I even show you how to do it on the water, kind of a thing. And check out that big bass too, man. I caught a big ass bass down there like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago. And it was on, I can't remember what color it was. I think it was the white with the red head. And the craziest part about that color is I caught my PB wiper on that exact color. I think it was 3 years ago at the tailwater. But yeah, me sucks at Fortnite. Do you have I'm assuming you have a Facebook, right? I mean, I'm asking specifically because I created a group on Facebook called Taylorsville Lake Tailwater, where we post like pictures and, you know, water level and stuff like that. I've been catching trout left and right. Oh, you say you don't have Facebook? Okay, well, never mind then. But yeah, there's a group on Facebook called Taylorsville Lake Tailwater. If anybody goes there, make sure you answer the questions and agree to the rules, and myself or one of my administrators will approve it. And because you have to have the questions and the agree to the rules thing, because we get a lot of spam, you know, robots, stuff like that. So we got to keep that on there. So whenever you get access to Facebook, definitely give that a look at. But you can do it on a different phone and do all the stuff. Okay. Well, check it out, dude. The it's a good group, man. It's basically, if it did not happen at the tailwater, it does not get put on there. So I guess let's say somebody's wanting to put on a roof, and they post on there, I'm a roofer, you know, if you need a roof, I'll erase it. Hold on a second. But if they're going to put on a roof at the tailwater, I'll accept it. You know what I mean? So it has, whatever you put on there has to happen at the tailwater. If it did not happen at the tailwater, it's going to get taken down. And what is it called when? I don't know when, but it's called Taylorsville Lake Tailwater. If you go to Facebook, just look up Taylorsville Lake Tailwater, and they'll have a little boy holding a crappie, because we do a photo contest every month. So the start of every month, I post a post on there that says, send me your, you know, in the comments, let's see your fish pictures at the tailwater. And then, you know, people will post their pictures, and whoever gets the most likes wins. So that's, little boy won. So we, oh, yeah, it's called Taylorsville Lake Tailwater. Now, I think that video I was talking about the blade baits, I'm pretty sure that's in the features, or the featured stuff. The because I put that on there specifically for folks going down there and wanting to do that, because I go down there to do that specifically. I don't really go down there and really fish anywhere or anyway else. Uh, so that should be on there too. Excuse me. So I've been on here 40 minutes. It's kind of cool. I really appreciate you all, sticking around. You stuck at Fortnite. Do you want to play Fortnite? It's pretty funny. I've never played Fortnite. Not one time. I used to play Call of Duty a lot, but that was about it. Back when, like, Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2. I'm sure he knew what you meant. You wasn't saying you suck at Fortnite. You were saying you want to play. Yeah. I got you. I wasn't even really in the conversation, but the new update is kind of good in Call of Duty. Dude, I tell you what, man, I haven't played Call of Duty in fucking forever. Like, dude, after Black Ops 2, or after Modern Warfare 3, actually, I stopped playing, man. It wasn't really, because I was always a sniper. I like to snipe. Because in Modern Warfare 3, there was certain spots that you could sit in that I found that you couldn't be seen unless you came around behind you and you saw my feet kind of doing like this, twisting around in the bushes. But the games after that, they weren't really sniper friendly. Can't right now because my Xbox is at my grandma's house and I mostly play COD now, and I need to change that. So is that why you suck at Fortnite, because you're playing Call of Duty? I remember when I was y'all's age, I was wanting. I remember spending like most of my time figuring out when I'm going to go fishing again. It's pretty funny. Okay, when you say game form, I'm assuming you're not talking to me. Because I don't know where the game form is. How did this turn into a Fortnite thing? So we got Dark Sleepers. Got DT20s. We got Blade Baits. Yeah, we're talking about Fortnite. Hey, well, fellas, I think I'm gonna, because I gotta pee like you would not believe. So I think I'm gonna get off here, and I'm probably gonna go on TikTok. Dang, I was talking to you, but since you don't know, it's like a stock pond, and I caught me and my dad's limit of 10 trout just like an hour ago. No, I've never heard of the game farm. I mean, do you know where you're at? I'm assuming you live like in Louisville. I'm assuming. The game farm. That does not sound familiar to me. Okay. Well, that's probably why I haven't heard of it. No, I never heard of the game farm. I'm assuming, is it a public, like a public pond? I'm guessing. Because if it is, I might make my way out there one day. I mean, I'll be honest. I plan on going. Uh, the spillway is like a 40-minute drive for me. Okay. I'm assuming y'all live out that way towards Frankfurt, like in between. Okay. Because I live in Taylorsville, like literally right down the street from Taylorsville Lake. So, I mean, I'm not that far from Frankfurt, really. So, yeah, I mean, I plan on fishing, Taylorsville in the wintertime, Guest Creek. I plan on going to Cedar Creek. And I plan on going to, now that you said that, I'm probably going to hit that up one day this winter. I'm probably, sounds like a plan to me. And I'd like to hit one of these ponds over in Louisville, Beckley Park to be specific. I want to hit one of those ponds up because there's some big fucking fish in there, man. There's some big old bass in there, and I can't never get them to bite in the wintertime. So I'm thinking about going out there with my 2D and kind of floating around, see if I can find them and see if I can get them to bite. I caught one of them not that long ago, actually. I can't remember what the name of the video is. I caught a big old bass out there not that long ago on Rogue Bait Company, actually. Rogue Bait Company. That dude lives in Fern Creek that owns Rogue. It's a cool guy, actually. And if you use Brandon 10, it's in the description. I'm sure you see it. If you use Brandon 10, if you shop at Rogue, you get 10% off your order. Panfish are really good. I'm at the game farm if you end up going. I'm not going to be going tonight, man. I'm about to do some live shit and then drink some beer and do another live thing and put all these baits away and going to sleep around 10, 11 probably. What time is it right now? Oh, it's already 10 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably do TikTok for an hour and some change, and then I'll probably end up going to bed because I get to get up, not early, but I get to go. I gotta go get my stuff ready. Looking forward to tomorrow. I think it's gonna be good. I'll be honest with you, man. I think this is gonna be the ticket tomorrow. That's just my guess. The way the weather's going, the fish ain't gonna be very active. What it might do, because it's a southwest wind, it's coming from the southwest. What it's going to do is going to push warmer water into certain areas, which is where I'm going to go. And they're not going to be like super duper active, but they're going to have warmer water, and I think that will get them to bite. And they see this bumping along the bottom, they're not going to be able to pass it up. They're just not. Right now. I know it right. I know what RN is. Okay, I gotcha. The Panthers are running really well. Okay. What car do I like? I'm assuming you're not talking to me. But yeah, I there for a second I thought you meant you were there right now, but I got you now. We're tracking. I don't own a car. I own a pickup truck, an F-150, a 2018. That I'm probably going to pay off this year. I bought it in 2018, brand spanking new. It was a lease, and I work and I slowly paid it off, and now I've got like I don't know less than 3,000. But if you were going to give me like if I was going to go buy a car, I would probably pick a a really badass Mustang, probably like a 5 liter Mustang. But I'm not really a car guy. I mean, like if money was no object, I'm having a truck, a pickup truck. If money was no object, I'd have a car along with that. A fast ass car. And I'd probably about all my vehicles for like road purposes. I'd probably have an eight, 4 wheeler or stuff like that. But the yeah, definitely, I'm definitely a pickup kind of a guy. Yeah, you ain't gonna catch me driving no rice burner. Going down the highway sounding like a fucking weed eater. Where are you going to fish tomorrow? Taylorsville Lake. I've already picked out some stuff on the map. Like I said, we have a southwest wind, which is coming from the south, blowing towards the northeast, going that way. There is a. I'm looking for standing timber because I think that's probably where they're going to be. Taylorsville is known for standing timber because there's a lot of it. I'm probably going to be in Beach Creek. I probably won't venture very far from the main body. I want to try some steeper banks, like some channel swing banks first, just to see if they're there. If they're not there, then they've probably transitioned over to uh, those eastern northeastern banks over there where that warmer wind's been blowing to, which is gonna the way that wind's blowing, it warms the water a little bit because it's coming from the south, uh, and it's gonna. I can't really explain some things sometimes. I can just see it in my head, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? I can see things like, especially when I get to a lake. Like if I get to a lake and I don't know anything about it, didn't look up anything about it, don't know anything about it, know nothing. Sometimes you can just see it. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but you can just see it. I would mind, but to answer your question again, I'd like to go to Guest Creek because I haven't been there on my kayak yet, which is definitely on my list. It's happening within the next month. If it's not going to be this month, it'll be January because the water there's already in the 40s. So that kind of sucks. But the only problem, the good thing is, it makes the fish predictable. Well, I can't say predictable. It makes them more predictable than it normally would. Do I know what Beaver Lake is? I know where it is. I've never been there. it's kind of it's not really that it's really not that far from me. I haven't heard great things about it at all, but I mean I'm not opposed to going there. I might go there one day. I don't know. I'll probably end up going to Cedar Creek Lake before I go to Beaver. Are we talking about trout or bass? Because I'm just I don't fish for trout. If I catch them, I catch them. I'm just not actively going for them. You know what I mean? Okay. Is there a lot of grass there? 'Cause I know in Cedar there's a lot of grass. Did I know? Zat, Zat, I know. Step back in here. Why ain't sitting here doing nothing? Kind of, but mostly trees that are good structure and you don't get snagged. Okay. All right. I'll have to look into that. I'll tell you what I thought about doing as a challenge, like a new lake challenge. And the craziest part is I thought about it while we were passing the sign that said Beaver Creek this way because we were going someplace else. I thought about going there and catching a bluegill and like how many fish can I catch on one bluegill? Okay, awesome. Like back to the bluegill thing, like cutting like a little sliver off its back and make it look like a minnow, and putting it on a jig head and bobbing a minnow, like putting it on a jig head with a bobber and like bouncing it around to try to catch some crappie. You know what I mean? Like how many fish can you catch on one bluegill? Be sick if I caught like 50 crappie on one bluegill. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I've never seen that on YouTube before. So, I mean, I think it'd be interesting. I just need to figure out a way to do it. I would probably, I'd say winter would probably be the best way to do it because crappie fishing in the winter kind of gets them. It's a little bit easier in the summer. A little bit easier than in the summer because they're, like I said, a little bit more predictable and they bulk up. They get tighter in a school and they get in that timber pretty hard. Yeah, I'm talking about like you got a little bluegill, take like a slice off of them and just put it on a jig head, and what's gonna happen is that slice is gonna be you're gonna be like jigging it like you would be a crappie jig or whatever, or a mooch minnow, and that meat's gonna be doing this. So when the crappie or bass or whatever comes up to it, it's gonna smell like a fish versus a piece of plastic. I don't know. It's just something I thought about doing. Have you saw the fish that has a motor and it moves just like a real fish? Yes, I have, and I won't be buying that bait, and I'll tell you why. First off, I don't think mechanical baits are better than human input. When I say about human input, meaning like what you can do with the rod. You're either jigging it or twitching it or reeling it or whatever. If you're just if the bait has a motor or whatever and it's snaking through, it's the same thing as you reeling it. I just I just don't I just don't think that's going to replace the fisherman's ability to make the bait do what they want it to do. You know what I mean? Because certain situations, you want the bait to do this, you want the bait to do that. Well, when you choose a bait, you have to know what it's capable of. If it can do this, or if it can't do this. That's what your mind's thinking. I want the bait to do this. Well, you're going to choose a bait that can do that. So if that bait has a motor and it just does this and swims through the water, that's all it can do. You know what I mean? It seems like a more of a unitasker kind of a thing where it does one thing and the fisherman really has no input on what the action is of the bait itself. Does that make sense? Because I want total control. I want total control of what my bait's doing at all times. If I want it to twitch, I want to be able to make it do that. If I want it to sit on the bottom, I won't do nothing. I don't want it to do anything. I want to be able to make it move the way I want it to make it in my head. And I'll be honest, any serious fisherman will tell you the same thing. Anybody, they they want to be able to control what their bait's doing at the same, at all times. Whether you're fishing a chatterbait, you want it high in the water, low in the water. Well, you just raise your rod tip. If you want it lower, you lower your rod tip, slow your retrieve down. You want to be able to control all that. I mean, that's just me. Everybody may be different. Somebody may tell you, "Hey, I would like a bait that does everything by itself, kind of like live scope." you know, you're not supposed to know where fish are. You're supposed to figure it out for yourself. Like you can, we got 2D, we can see fish down there, but it's not giving you a living representative of what that fish is doing and where it's swimming and the way it's facing, what it is. You're supposed to go through an area that you think is good, fish that area the best of your ability. And if you don't get bit, then your mind is like, there's obviously not fish there. Or I'm not using the right bait. Then you circle back around and go through there again with a bait you think might work. That's fishing. Looking at a screen, bobbing a minnow, that's not fishing. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Yeah, hey, I agree with that 1,000%. Dude said one other fisherman tried it and he said that it's not worth it because it doesn't move the way that you want it to move. And that's my argument. Like without even seeing what it is, I've seen some mechanical baits, on like TikTok and stuff like that, but I don't know which one specifically you're talking about. Um, but that would be my gripe on any of those mechanical baits in general. Damn, son, we've been going on for an hour. He said it looks like a bass. I mean, bass eat bass. I mean, I've got a big ass swim bait from Megabass that's a bass pattern. I thought about throwing it this year in this pre-spawn. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet. It's a $30 bait. I've got like $130 bait it's a bass pattern. It's a Clash 9. I had a big old bass, man. Seeing right now, it's a big old bass. Follow it at Beckley Park. In the dead of winter. I made a short on it. I didn't make an actual video, but she followed it. But like when I pulled the bait out of the water, she swam like this. Like the bait's doing this. and it's at my feet. I pull it out of the water, and all of a sudden she comes out of the darkness and just stops right there where the bait was. And I said, "Oh my gosh, that is like there she is right there." I mean, I bet you she was a 20-plus inch fish, at least. And there's some bigger ones in there too, man. If y'all haven't made it down there to Beckley Park, there are some big old girls in there. It's a trout. It's a trout stocked lake. All three of them. There's one up here, and then there's one down here, and then there's another one. I don't know if they stocked that one or not, but the middle one is where I caught my PB from, and the video I'm talking about is the one on top. They're all trout stocked, and that's how they get that big is they eat those trout. So yeah, but they're very, very difficult to catch, man. I've got some big trout baits that I've thrown in there, and I haven't caught them. I haven't even had one follow it. The only one I had follow was that Clash 9 in the bass pattern. I believe it was 2025 in the wintertime, if I'm not mistaken. I remember walking, no bullshit, dude. I remember walking on the dock over there, and I peeked my head over the dock, and there was just a big black blob, like in the water I could see. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And then all of a sudden it swam away, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a damn bass. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I bet you she was over 6 pounds, man, for sure. Like without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I've seen a lot of big bass in my life, but that was like the biggest in the water that I've seen with my own eyes fish that I haven't caught. She was a big one. I do plan on going there this winter and throwing some more swim baits down through there, and just because you never know. I might go there one week, not catch a damn thing. Might go there again, and I'm bringing that trout, down through that tail, just doing this number. I'm dragging it maybe, you know, 4 inches at a time, just barely having that tail move, and all of a sudden, I just feel my line, Doom. And that's pretty much her inhaling the bait and her lips on the line. That's what that is. Do I fish tournaments? Okay, well, I'm glad you asked that because earlier like 2 weeks ago, I found out that there was a Kentucky trail, a kayak bass fishing trail. It's called Kentucky or USA Bassin Kentucky Series or whatever. The first stop is Dale Hollow. Second stop is Kentucky Lake. Third stop is Cedar Creek. Fourth stop is Laurel Lake, and I think the fifth stop is I don't remember where it was, but anyway, I do want to fish tournaments, but I also do want a motor for my kayak, and I'm not going to be able to afford both. So I can either get the kayak or get the motor or fish in tournaments. So if I fish in tournaments without the motor, I'm paddling around without forward-facing sonar, which I refuse to use, against people with motors with forward-facing sonar. So I'm like way behind the 8 ball already. And I can't cover enough water with a paddle and no forward-facing sonar. Actually, I don't even give a fuck about forward-facing sonar. I can't cover enough water with a paddle to even compete. Because I mean, it's just I'm already at a disadvantage by like a lot. I don't. Now, if I had the motor, I would be more willing to consider entertaining the idea of fishing a tournament. Because I feel like you can compete if you can cover enough water to outfish the folks that are using the forward-facing sonar. Because if you're using the forward-facing sonar, you know where fish are once you find them. But if you don't, You just have to keep going until you find them, and you have to use your brain to figure out where they are. I I don't feel like I have to prove myself to anyone, which is why I don't feel obligated to fish tournaments. I mean, I'm a pretty good fisherman. I mean, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You know, I can hold my own, but I will not this year, but I will do tournaments next year. Uh, it will probably be if that USA Bass in Kentucky thing is still going. I will probably be doing that, and I'm hoping that it's a Dale Hollow in the pre-spawn. That's gonna be pretty damn sweet. And Kentucky Lake during spawn, which is kind of even cool too, or even cooler. Um, I don't know. Like I said, the it won't be this year, but it will definitely be next year. Oh, and on top of that, I forgot to say about this. You have to accumulate 250 points and to get into the championship, which is in October. Well, I don't know when it's going to be in October. We're going on a Disney cruise in October. So if I did qualify for it, I have the potential of missing it because we're going on a Disney cruise, and I'm not going to, not going on a Disney cruise because I got a goddamn tournament. It's just not. I'm just not doing it. I just don't think it's. I just don't think it's right. You know, things happen for a reason. I, just things happen for a reason, and I just need to sit this one out this year. And like I said, I don't feel like I need to, you know, like I said this earlier, and I don't know if y'all were here or not, but somebody on TikTok said, "If you're such a hammer, where's all your trophies?" And I'm like, dude, I only get 4 hours to fish on Sundays. That's it. That's all I get. All right, dude. I'll see you, man. Have a good one, brother. I'm sure I'll see you out there on the water sometime. I'm going to head over to TikTok anyway. So here in, I don't know, probably 10, 15 minutes. But like I was saying, what the hell was I saying? Oh, but anyway, you know, things happen for a reason, and they'll be next year. It's not that big a deal. Like I'm gonna make videos regardless. I'm not, not gonna stop. So there's that. Hey, well, for the folks that are still here with me, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you. If you want to continue this, uh, leave a thing down in the comments. So is that a yeah? You do want to continue this? Because I was wanting to go over it on TikTok, but if you want to keep going, we can. See, what I normally do is I'll do a live Facebook Live up until the point where I have to pee myself. I get off YouTube, go go to the bathroom, and then come back and do TikTok. This is what I normally do. Oh, you talking about the kayak thing? Yeah, and well, on top of that, I can go into more detail about that. It's like $30 a year to be in the in the thing. Uh, I think I can't remember exactly, but the to get in the tournaments for like $50 or $60, and I would want to go down and practice, which would be at least 2 days. I mean, if I could get away with one day, but I think 2 days would be if I wanted to win. I think a full 2 days would be probably the best. Um, so now we're talking money. I have to take off work, which is not a big deal. So I would have to go down there. Let's just say Del Hollow. I'd have to drive down there. which would be I'd have to leave really, really early in the morning, like really early, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. Fish all day, drive back home, get up the next morning, drive back up there. This is the cheapest route. All right. We're talking about gas money in my truck would be quite a bit. So, and if I decided to stay down there, I'd have to get a hotel or Airbnb, which would take time away from my family, my wife, my little girl. Um, there's just a lot of things that I just can't. I don't know. I just don't think now is the right time. Hey, is anybody still here? Because if not, I'm gonna go to TikTok because I gotta go pee like you would not believe. You ain't got no fishes, my boy. Okay. Well, do you have a TikTok, man? Because I gotta pee like a mofo, and I'm gonna cut this off and go pee and then go on TikTok. I'm under the same name, Local Hammer 82. It's the same from through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's all the same. I got the same profile picture, so if you see that profile picture on any platform, that's me. Awesome. Well, dude, I'm gonna cut this off, and dude, I really, really appreciate you sticking around. That means a lot. It's kind of weird because it shows like up here on my screen, it shows people and it's 0, but yet you're still here, which I find that weird. I don't know. I just think that's wild that it shows 0 people here, but there's folks here. I don't know. Well, thank you, man. I greatly appreciate it again. And dude, I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna go pee, and I'll be on TikTok. So if you want to head over there, please do. If not, I'll do this again next weekend probably. All right, man. I'll see you all in the water.